Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan and I am with Mike.
Good evening everybody, welcome back. Good evening to Velvet Rope, Hidden Agendas, Mags and Kishan. Welcome to our late night project review, and this is a good one. And I know we've covered quite a few different projects on this channel in the last 5 or 6 weeks, but this one really is a good project. We're going to be looking at Defactor, which is an RWA project, a real world asset project. And we're going to go through what RWA means before we get on to Defactor. So the agenda for the show is going to be pretty standard, what we normally do. We're going to go through the project, the white paper, the 4 pillars of Defactor. We're going to go through the team, the roadmap, the tokenomics, and how to participate in the stream. But before we do any of that, Brogan, do you want me to read this bit out, or do you want to do the introduction?
I think you start. I'll just go back and forward.
Okay. Right, I'm going to take you through, first of all, the disclaimer, and then we're going to take you through how to participate. The one thing to bear in mind, if you are watching on YouTube, we have the link down below to our GateIO channel. That will take you directly to the startup page of the project of Defactor. So just waiting for this to load. I'll take you through this and then we will begin. So the risk warning, which I always need to read out at the start of these. The startup project is still in its initial stage. Factors including the operation and underlying tech of the project and other related regulatory activities might contribute to significant risks. Advanced technical and financial knowledge is required to understand and evaluate the risks of the investment, and the volatility of markets is high, and the price of the token might fluctuate drastically due to technical, regulatory or marketing factors. And as we've seen in the last 72 hours, all of them are possible. And finally, you might not be able to withdraw your tokens the day they are launched. So that's the risk warning. To participate, as I said, the link is in the chat underneath. Brogan is going to take you through how to participate in the startup as soon as we get to the end.
Yeah.
But I think, do you want to do the project introduction first?
I'll read that part quickly. Project introduction. Defactor is a RWA ecosystem with a toolkit of products available for global businesses. Defactor has liquidity pools, tech, assets, tokenization, technology, and a community engagement platform. Defactor has a global network of partners to allow us to work with projects from around the world. Brilliant. All right. Very simple. The project introductions on this page never going to go completely in depth. It's just a general idea of what's going on with the project.
Now, what I am going to do, I think it would be useful for, I don't know who is watching or where they're watching from, but I'm going to give them a definition of real-world assets, RWAs, before we begin, just so they have some idea of what we're talking about.
Okay.
So, RWAs, real-world assets, in blockchain are digital tokens that represent physical and traditional financial assets, such as currencies, commodities, equities, and bonds. So, for example, office blocks, residential blocks, Van Goghs, Rembrandts, they are all physical assets that can be tokenized. And we've talked a lot in the past about BlackRock and Build, B-U-I-D-L, and Ondo. We've talked a lot about that as well. And Defactor is in that mode, should I say. So I'm very excited about going through this, Brogan. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, do you want to start off? Should we go through the website first before we do anything else?
Let me just set sidebar. Go through the main area. There we go. Perfect. All right. There we go. I've got a little sidebar on the website to make sure it's like framed within the stream. That should be good. Okay, well, Defactor, let's have a little read of the single page area here now. So, redefining finance, real world, all these words which are flowing now. Traditional finance faces barriers, limiting access and hindering global participation. Unlock a new financial future with Defactor's comprehensive decentralized RWA toolkit for real-world asset tokenization. We support you on your RWA token journey from creation and issuance to monitoring and reporting. So they're like a general, like all-in-one, like I said, like they said themselves, toolkit for people who want to make ROA assets or tokenization of, or the whole system of RWA asset tokenization.
Exactly. Now, I have looked at several other RWA projects like this. I've made a video about one today, and they do exactly the same thing. And if you look at emerging markets, if you look at AI, if you look at even meme coins, they all have tools that they can use to generate their AI projects or set their AI projects off in a certain direction. When it comes to real world assets, how do you even go about creating a token, a digitized version of your real world asset? You can't do it from scratch. You should use a tool that has all of the kind of the regulations already in place and already has a system in place. And that's where I think something like Defactor comes along that allows you to be able to do that without making the same mistakes over and over again. There's no point in reinventing the wheel, is there?
No, exactly.
So there's three main elements on the front page to go through. So why choose Defactor? Number one, the token community engagement and insights tool. Number two, the lending and borrowing tool, which is called Pools. And the third one is Assets, which is the token creation tool. So everything you need, from creating your own DeFi to creating your own tools to creating your own engagement, it's all available through Defactor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I actually wanted to go somewhere quickly. I don't think we have it on obviously on the sidebar. It's not a main thing.
Yeah.
But they have ecosystem partners. I don't know if they have any more down the page, but there's partnerships, and very interesting ones at that. So the main ones I saw, obviously the Algorand, very huge.
Yes.
Huawei as well.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of Black Manta. I think I've heard of them. Can't exactly remember what they are per se.
Yeah.
And then there's some sort of ERC thing. So that is pretty cool. So they've actually got some good partnerships, which they display on their front page here. Especially for me, Huawei is probably one of the most interesting ones.
Yeah. I mean,
they're huge with tech and new tech, to be fair, because obviously, there's Samsung and whatnot. They have multiple, tech areas they work within, mainly phones. Huawei is no different, but they are, Huawei in terms of the tech and what they do. They're very innovative in what they do and what they release. So, I'm glad to see that they have their faith in this and they're invested in it.
Exactly. I mean, again, the projects that I've been looking at, the common denominator between them has been Algorand. So Algorand really is making moves in RWA. So at least 4 projects I've looked at today, the big blockchain behind a lot of them and a lot of their investments has been Algorand. Now, I don't want to go off the path too much. What's the next stage on the stream? What's the next element we should be going through?
So we've got intro website, and now we've got white paper next.
Okay. Now the white paper and the pillars are probably going to take the longest.
Okay.
So if I bring up the white paper over here, now I've obviously been through all of this. I think it was about a week ago now I prepared for this stream. And the one thing about the white paper is it's not strictly a white paper.
Okay.
So what they've done is they've broken up their project into podcasts. They've broken it up into ebooks, articles, use cases, inside Defactor, and the other one that's mentioned on here that has just disappeared off my screen, I can't see where it's gone now, is articles. So I think the best place to probably start with this is the use cases.
Okay.
If you want to start with that.
Let's have a little nosy.
And there's 2 use cases on there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So use cases, real-world examples. Explore the real-world power of Defactor Toolkit. Our use cases highlight the transformative impact of digital assets across industries, showcasing innovation, efficiency, and the future of decentralized finance. So 2 they have so far. Aurus lending pools, powered by Defactor's robust infrastructure. Aurus users can access loans against their tokens, unlocking additional value and democratizing financial services. This integration makes financial flexibility and wealth generation accessible to all, revolutionizing the landscape of decentralized finance. Second one, they have LandX lending pools, offering users unprecedented access to loans secured against their X-Basket tokens, revolutionizing financial inclusivity and empowerment with our pioneering and innovative leverage of Defactor's robust infrastructure to transform the landscape of financial services. So, like I said, there's only got 2 so far. I assume this will probably be fleshed out with like more and more as they grow and become prominent people within RWA toolkit peoples.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is with like crypto is fairly new. If you look at Ethereum or if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's 14, 15 years old now. Ethereum is 7 years old. They're still incredibly new projects. So when something like Defactor comes along, you're not suddenly going to have 50 projects that have all integrated Defactor and built out real-world assets, or the tokenization of real-world assets. They're new projects. They have to take their time in getting off the ground and making sure everything is right from day one. So you're never going to have the use cases where they've integrated it into Uber or they've integrated it, exactly. So I think that's the key for me, is that you have to take each project like this on face value and then wait to see what they actually do as they build themselves out. Now, they do have weekly updates. They've put 2 weekly updates up, one from the 5th of April and one from the 9th of April. And what's really cool is they call them sprints. And being a programmer, you'll understand all of this, where you sprint through different objectives and you try and get them done in different weeks. So they've done 2 sprints so far this week. They've got the summits that they've attended. They've got an update on the Aurus pools that you've just been mentioning. So they keep this information pretty much up to date on the website. There isn't really anything missing on here. There's no red flags so far on this project. No. The information's been kept up to date. Everything about the website is kept up to date. And as far as I can see, that's as much as you can ask from a project like this. Now, the one other thing that I want to mention before we move on, I'm very wary of time. Of course, we don't want to overrun. But there's an interesting article that I wanted to go through. I'm just going to read out the headline and a bit of blurb about it. I know, and this was, when it loads, just give me 1 second. It's going to take a little bit of time to load, and then we'll go through it. And the question is, this is a blog from, I believe, not too long ago. Can I tokenize my house? That's the headline of the blog. And the answer is, of course, yes, you can. And it goes down in here and in depth. We're not going to play the video. We don't want to be copyright struck. No. But if you own an asset, such as your house, and you look towards fractionalized ownership, so it might not be your house, it could be your office space, it could be a work of art that you've got. You can tokenize anything you have, as long as regulatory wise you follow all the rules in your jurisdiction. So fractionalized ownership, this is where I think real world assets have taken over from NFTs. Do you remember when we used to talk about Banksies? And we talk about
representing the physical artwork. I remember thinking about how naff of an idea this was, of how it wouldn't work in terms of applying NFTs to it. Because of how you couldn't really link it properly, and it was trying to apply such a generalized thing to a specific problem. Whereas now, obviously, we're having a specific solution to a specific problem. But yeah, like I said, I remember talking about this, ages ago.
Over a year ago.
On the streams, and it was a very interesting concept. Obviously, nothing like this has really happened before.
I think the problem was, when we were looking at it from the NFT point of view, they were trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, weren't they? Because NFTs, although they are, non-fungible tokens, they are tokens whereby you own a specific number, like number 100 of 101. The issue is that there's an awful lot of friction to do with an NFT. So if you go to buy and sell an NFT, and this is when we were talking about, you know, it being listed on OpenSea and whatever else it was, Magic Eden, the issue was there was always a 10% tax to pay. So you would own a token, and that token would be 1/100th of a painting. That token could have a value of $10,000. That immediately takes that token out of the hands and pockets of your average crypto trader.
Yeah.
With real world asset tokens, those tokens are valued in cents and dollars. So, you know, $3 or $4 gives you 1/1,000,000th of an office block. But also there isn't a 10% tax to pay on these tokens. These tokens they're not frictionless, because there is obviously a 1/4% or whatever it might be on GateIO, but they are without as much friction as these NFTs have been. So I think it's important to differentiate between NFTs and real world asset tokens and tokenizing. Is the NFTs were, like you say, it was like the outlaws, you know, it was the 2023 outlaw Wild Wild West, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything was kind of like, I know what we'll do, we'll turn it into an NFT.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like a brute force of finding the applicability of NFTs. It was a bit ridiculous. You know, like we've both said, like it just didn't work with these like physical assets. Obviously, it was tried and it was interesting at the time. It was great to talk about, but it definitely, physical assets and representing them as an asset online and as being a token, it definitely needed its own specified solution, which obviously, like I said, we have now. But yeah, it's definitely, it was funny to look at. It was great concept, but
yeah, exactly.
It never worked.
Right, should we move on to the 4 pillars then?
Yes, I think we should.
Because I think we're about 20 minutes in and we've only got an hour to go through this. So let's look at the pillars. And then after the pillars, we'll look at the team. And then the final thing we're going to look at is the tokenomics before we go into how to participate in this startup.
Yeah.
Now, the 4 pillars, we can probably just do them in order, can't we?
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got technology, innovation, then we've got governance, community, and liquidity and market. So should we start with technology and innovation first?
I've got it up now.
Do you want to go through this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So first one, tech and innovation. Defactor pioneers innovation at the convergence of real-world assets and decentralized finance, simplifying and reducing the time to market for businesses to get started by providing DeFi liquidity backed up by real-world value. So we've got blurb here. Obviously, I believe this has a roadmap representing of the pillar.
Yeah.
So we'll go through it now. Technology and innovation roadmap. So H2 2024. So doing it in halves of quarters. So the second half of 2024. Actually, I'll read this part first.
Yeah.
Defactor's primary objective is to push the boundaries of what is achievable in the convergence of real-world assets and decentralized finance. As an open-source project, our dedication lies in building upon existing protocols and actively expanding the ecosystem. This is our innovation roadmap, highlighting key milestones. So, the second half of 2024, conducting performance tests using EVM-compatible networks and enterprise applications, SAP ERP POC, proof of concept for SAP Enterprise Resource Management, Defactor chain, part a new blockchain infrastructure layer, Asset V2, beta launch of first asset customer, RWA AI POC, use artificial intelligence to generate legal agreements. Okay. Pilot Bounty 2.0 projects, expanding community-driven initiatives. That's always good.
Yeah.
Extend the open source DeFi toolkit, providing additional functionalities. So that was kind of the biggest area.
Yeah.
As the second half of this year. So moving on to 2025. So the first and second half has decentralize and incentivize all technology operations and infrastructure, promoting community ownership and support community ownership and development of upcoming roadmaps.
Now, I kind of like the way they're doing this, and a lot of projects do this. You can't decentralize a project from day one.
No.
Because it simply won't work. What you've got to do is build the project out and then hand it over to the community to manage via the DAO. You look at anything, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be Ethereum, whether it be Defactor, you can't build a decentralized project. It has to be centralized, built, fixed, and then handed over. You know, you don't buy a car with the parts, do you?
No.
You buy the working car,
Exactly.
and then you just, you know what I mean, you take it away. And it's the same with these projects, and we've looked at tens and tens of these projects where they're built as a centralized project, and then there's a token drop, or there's a pre-sale, there's an ICO, whatever it might be, and then the project implements a DAO, and then that DAO makes a decision on the direction of the project. It just makes sense. So it's nice to see that they are spending the rest of this year fixing the project and getting it watertight and making everything, work as it should work.
Yeah.
And then spending next year on decentralization and the DAO. And that seems to be the key for me. A big hello to who is in chat. I'm sure I've just seen Diableski. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We are going over Defactor, which is a real world asset. What would you call them? Would you call them an SDK kit, or would you call them a?
To be fair, the word toolkit they've used has been pretty accurate. I suppose it's a suite of tools.
Yes.
To help make RWAs.
Okay. Well, what we'll do now then, let's move on to the second pillar, which is, should we do governance or community?
Governance.
Okay.
The next one down. So governance. Your participation is indispensable in boosting collaboration and driving innovation in the real-world assets world. By working together, we aim to develop a community of experts and enthusiasts dedicated to exercising their voting rights, exchanging ideas, and joining projects. So, their roadmap for governance. Effective governance is a fundamental pillar at Defactor, driving our vision and decentralized autonomous organizations with well-defined missions and aligned objectives. This roadmap sets the course for Defactor's governance innovation until 2024. So we've got H1, H2, so the entirety of 2023, so this has already been done.
Yeah.
It launched the governance portal version 1.5, enabling stakeholders to suggest, signal, and seek support. Publish our governance framework to provide transparency and clarity, and explore operational protocols for DAOs. And the second half of 2023, appoint 2 new board members, including one with specific expertise in decentralized governance. Okay, and then first half of 2024, so within now.
Yeah.
Establish a governance council with a clear mandate to structure and operate a governance model that aligns with our objectives. And then moving forward, allocate capital, put power and resources to the edges of our organization, ensuring different efficient operations and accountability. So it looks like they kind of aimed to develop the governance first and kind of flesh that out.
Yeah.
Seeing as though we pretty much are near the end of, coming to the end of this year, we'll be finished with this pillar from Defactor. So they seem like they've already obviously would have to go through. I'm sure they've lived up to this, and we talk about this a lot when we look at projects.
Yeah.
Looking at the roadmap and how much there is in terms of content, if they have roadmaps which they display that they're already in the middle of. So, I think we looked at other projects previously, like the one, last project we looked at, they had their roadmap, and we can see from here now, which spanned back quite far in history, which shows, you can back up how much of the work they've done in comparison to what they said, what they're doing now, and what they're going forward with. So they've got a good medium in between, the past and the present, or the past and the future, sorry.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm pretty sure that they've probably done everything here. So yeah.
The one thing I was going to add was, there's multiple ways that people can show you roadmaps, and the best way that I prefer is where you can see the milestones that they've reached.
Yep.
And then what the next 12 months worth of milestones are, because if you can't see how well they've done in the past 12 months or 18 months, then you don't know if the next 12 months of the roadmap is simply them trying to do what they should have done last year.
Exactly.
So when you have a roadmap that shows you everything that they've done and everything that they're going to do on the same page, it gives you a sense of confidence that they're actually going to be able to do what they say.
Exactly.
They're going to back up their own roadmap with deliverables, and that's what people want. At the end of the day, people can only judge them based on their kind of pre-live performance, and if they hit these milestones, then that's about as much as you can do for a new project.
Yeah.
Okay, what is next?
Community, I'd say.
Community, okay.
So we've got 2 more pillars in the list of pillars. We've got community and liquidity markets. So second last one, community. Join our community to accelerate collaboration and foster innovation in the realm of real-world asset tokenization by engaging with your DeFi community. So they also, well, the entirety of this should be done actually. The entirety of this is 2023. They've done it in quarters.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at this, see what they've already done then. The vision is to create a dynamic and inclusive community for individuals and businesses passionate about asset tokenization and decentralized finance. Through our community hub and ambassador-driven approach, we are rapidly expanding globally. In this roadmap, you find the key milestones for 2023. So Q1, establish the Asia hub located in Hong Kong, launch a support and ticketing system. Great, yeah, good foundation, sorry.
Yeah.
Expand the ambassador program to include new regions and languages with a focus on enhancing our presence on social media platforms and the web. Establish 2 to 3 new community hubs, the specified locations to be determined through a governance vote. Provide support for all major languages, catering to individuals interested in real-world assets.
Yeah.
And identify active hubs as potential candidates for seeding in region DAOs.
In region DAOs.
Yeah. Decentralized autonomous. Yeah, whatever. So it seems like they've should have all done this entirely, which I probably believe they have.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much all the way through this. I mean, the one thing they need to do is once the token is launched, once the project is fully laid out and rolled out on GateIO, which is going to happen in the next 72 hours, then I imagine that once the token is out there, the DAO can actually begin to start taking decisions on the direction of the project. So
Exactly.
All looks good for me on the community roadmap. So the last pillar then is the liquidity and markets.
Yes. So let's have a look. Last pillar, liquidity and markets. Liquidity and markets pillar ensures token availability and market liquidity. The aim is to handle token issuance, nurture partnerships with market makers and liquidity providers, and closely monitor market conditions. Enhancing liquidity and optimizing market dynamics are crucial aspects of the Defactor platform. So this spans 2023 and 2024, similar to the other ones. So 2023, obviously we'll go over this little blurb first as well. This strategic roadmap guides our efforts in creating a framework that facilitates a diverse range of asset classes within the Defactor ecosystem. It plays a crucial role in providing oversight and facilitating access to Factor token listings. It also establishes a time frame for onboarding the ecosystem with liquidity. So the first half of 2023, conducting comprehensive testing of processes and technology by completing funding flows using Defactor Capital, validate and refine the operational procedures to ensure seamless liquidity operations. Second half of 2023, collaborate with external liquidity providers through operational entities, attracting them to engage with and contribute to the Defactor ecosystem. Open up opportunities within the Defactor ecosystem for these external liquidity providers to participate and leverage their expertise. So now moving on to currently, first half of 2024.
Yep.
Introduce real-world asset products to strategic finance technology applications, enabling them to offer attractive yield opportunities to their customers. Forge partnerships with these financial technological apps to expand the reach and adoption of RWA products. And then moving forward with this year, establish open access for approved liquidity providers to fund the RWA network powered by Defactor across various asset classes. Enable liquidity providers to engage in funding activities within the Defactor ecosystem, creating a diverse and dynamic marketplace. A lot there, very in depth. Seems pretty, nothing really stands out to me as being anything which seems pretty funny to me. Seems pretty logical.
No red flags. No red flags at all. Quick question we've been asked in chat is, when is this token going to be available on GateIO? And the answer is, as far as I can see, around about 2 days' time. The startup ends in 1 day and 12 hours. So that's 8:30 on Wednesday, 8:30 on Wednesday. So the project should be live within the next 3 days, would you say?
Yeah.
I'd say within the next 3 days. No, I don't think there's anything in that stands out as a red flag. I think they've hit, like I said, a lot of projects that get to this stage on GateIO, they've already done the projects, haven't they? They're already there. This is just the token launch.
Yeah.
So we should be seeing this kind of roadmap
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think-
It's ones which have like a bunch of content already covered in previous years and halves and quarters and whatnot.
Exactly. So I don't think we need to worry too much about that. I don't think we need to spend too much more time on it. I'm just worried about time, you see. Right, it's now, is that past? Yeah, okay.
8, yeah.
So we've only got really about 20 minutes left. So should we, right, we've done the roadmap pretty much, haven't we?
Yeah,
as well?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now-
So we've got team and tokenomics, and obviously moving on to how to participate in the end.
Right, if you want to bring up team,
Yeah.
there's one individual that I have brought up the LinkedIn page of, which is Stephen.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to bring this up. I'm just going to go through this. But do you want to go through is there a team page on the website?
Yeah, there's 3 main individuals.
All right.
I could probably read their blurbs.
Yeah, read their blurbs first then.
So, the team. So we have the board member of business development, Ernesto Villa, experienced CEO with a demonstrated history of working in the global logistics industry, skilled in distribution logistics, freight transportation, ocean transportation, and software as a service.
Yeah.
Strong business development professional, graduated from has a special eyesight thing like side business at school. I don't want to butcher that. University of Oxford on blockchain. Okay, that's pretty good. So he's versed in blockchain and Web3 technology. That's good. And freighting and travel logistics, which is probably a key component if you're talking about RWAs. We talked about that as well when obviously when we were talking about NFTs and assets, and we also talked about, I believe in different stream, about using NFTs as a way of confirming like freighting. Was it documents? I think we talked about. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something.
We looked at VeChain a lot.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So we've got Sharif Bukhtila, board member, technology and innovation, passionate about blockchain and the Web3 ecosystem, with a wealth of experience in starting and scaling technological projects. Committed to simplifying complex concepts and empowering individuals and businesses with the tools and knowledge they need to succeed. A co-founder of Defactor and excited and passionate to be part of an innovative organization dedicated to providing high-quality products and support to the community. And then this guy over here, Stephen Brown, board member, community and governance, the one you have the LinkedIn page of.
Yeah.
Stephen, an experienced legal professional and entrepreneur, brings his passion for blockchain to Defactor. His background as a barrister in Ireland and general counsel for Hong Kong's first unicorn, along with co-founding Soars Digital Assets, a Web3 financial services platform for digital assets, gives him expertise in regulated services such as security token offerings and digital wallets. Stephen's extensive business network in Asia and globally strengthens Defactor's reach and fosters valuable partnerships. He holds distinguished degrees from Trinity College Dublin, King's Inns Dublin, and certificate from University College Dublin, reflecting his dedication to continuous learning and excellence.
Perfect.
That is pretty big.
Pretty big. Well, Stephen Brown is the guy I wanted to just very quickly talk about. And the reason is that when we look at people that are involved in teams, involved in these projects, what's important isn't just the fancy blurb that's on the website, telling you how good he is or how good they are. It's important to go and have a look at their LinkedIn profile and see what their experience is. And the reason that I wanted to go through Stephen very quickly is, again, I'm very worried about time, is that when he takes positions, he holds them for a long time. Now, what I mean by that is that currently, not going back too far, but currently he is a non-exec, an NED at Vox Carrier, which is a messaging system. He is a full-time associate partner at Black Manta Capital Partners. He's also the co-founder and board member at Defactor, which is what we're looking at right now. But he's also the co-founder of Soars, which is a financial services company, which is also involved in Defactor. And he is also part of the strategy team at Sorted Wallet, which is a crypto wallet for mobile phones. Now, why is any of that important? It's important because Stephen has his fingers in multiple Web3 pies. So he can use that experience from all of these different startups and all of these different projects to benefit Defactor. Now, when I look at people that are involved in crypto, especially crypto because it's so new, you find somebody who might have one previous role in crypto. You know, they may have been a marketing assistant in a Web3 company. This guy, for the last 4, 5, 6 years, has been involved directly in crypto. So for me, when I look at teams and when I look at how important team members are, people like Stephen, I always talk about like the star man, like who is the Cristiano Ronaldo of this team?
Yeah.
And for me, it's Stephen. He might not be the technical lead, but he's got all of the experience that you need to, do you know what I mean? Just to bring that bit extra.
I mean,
so anyway, that's enough of the team because, again, we're running out of time. So do you want to go through what we're on to next?
Now it should be, we're not doing roadmap.
We've done roadmap, haven't we?
Yes, it's tokenomics now.
Okay, should we go to tokenomics?
Yep.
Now, tokenomics, I think yeah, I've already got the link for that. Okay. I'm just waiting for it to load at my end. Let's have a look. Right. So, do you want to begin with, well, do you want me to go through a few of the bits that I've picked out, or do you want to just go through?
You can do if you want, yeah. I was just going to go through it top, bottom.
Right, well, if you, just out of interest, if you go to, I'm just trying to tell you the link now. If you go down to the Engage section and click on the Launch Factor dashboard, it's like the second thing down. You don't have to go down that far. Okay. So where it says Become a Token Holder, right, click on that. It brings up the Engage dashboard.
Okay. Now,
this gives you the breakdown of the token.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's a lot nicer than a lot of the ones we've looked at. But before you go through that, I just want to make a couple of things a bit clearer. This token is on Ethereum, and more importantly, it's on Polygon. So if you want to buy this token and you don't want to pay extortionate gas fees, you buy it on GateIO.
Yeah.
And that will be available hopefully in the next 2 days, 3 days. That's all I wanted to make clear. It's on Ethereum, it's on Polygon, so you can buy your tokens on GateIO, and then you can send them to your Polygon address with MetaMask, and you won't be paying ridiculous fees. Right, do you want to go through the tokenomics, or do you want me to?
We kind of, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'll just go through the top to bottom, talk about engines and whatnot. So, become a token holder. Factor token. Factor is the native token of the Defactor ecosystem, designed to enable easy access to applications and infrastructure. It aligns interests and incentivizes growth. So they've got their address, contract address there, which we're obviously not going to. Some of the places they are, but we're not going to talk about that either. So, engage. Discover the power of the Defactor community. This is the thing we just went to, but explore token insights, seamlessly stake Factor tokens, participate in governance decisions, and contribute to our vibrant community through bounty programs and grants. Empower your voice, earn rewards, and drive innovation. So the place we were just at, the dashboard, is like the main hub of interacting. So it does have some interesting stuff here. Obviously, you need to connect to wallet, have tokens, which we don't have. So, Factor is live on these public blockchains: Ethereum, Polygon, Algorand. Yeah. Obviously, like you said earlier, big emphasis on the Algorand section. Active pools: explore the diverse landscape of Defactor through our active lending pools, participate in secure protocols, and unlock the potential of our DeFi toolkit. Join our lending pools to experience the future of finance. So there is Aurus. Explore the Aurus T Gold lending pool, where each token is backed 1-to-1 by a gram of gold. Obviously, they've got some coming soon. I think we talked about this. We didn't talk about this, but on the same point of earlier in terms of their actual usage. Yeah. It's going to be fleshed out. Like as they said, by coming soon. There's going to be more and more as it comes. But currently, it's only on here. All right. Well, can I go through the points that I've got about the circulating supply, or have you got some that you want to go through there? No, I mean, I've just got the graph up now. You can go through it now. Okay, you go through your graph, and then I'll go through. If there's anything that I want to add, I'll go through that. All right, fine. So this is actual numbers now, percentages. Token economics. So the fixed supply, 300 million tokens. Association. Tokens allocated to the association are for the purpose of incentivizing growth in the overall ecosystem, and that is 23% of the total tokens in the project. Initial sale. These tokens were allocated to buyers who wanted to participate in pre and launch sale. That was, how much was that? Does it say? It should. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just the purple one. 21.5% of the total tokens were for the initial sale. Staking rewards are emitted through. We know that. That is 25% of the total token allocation. Ecosystem and partnerships. So this is partnerships, current and future, may be rewarded or paid in fact tokens to incentivize. It's just ecosystem growth, and that is 14%, I believe, of the total tokens.
Yeah.
And then the final part is team and contributors. The team and the advisors will be entitled to tokens which are awarded biannually and are subjected to 18 months vesting, 16.5%. That's pretty good, the biannually and the 18-month vesting period. Obviously, you don't want, it's a bit more confidence in the fact that people aren't just going to get their token within the team and the community, get the tokens and sell immediately, and kind of, be a bit dodgy with that. We do talk about that quite often with other projects and how this is quite important for the projects.
So the only things I want to add to it then, have you finished?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I should have this up on the screen, then you can talk.
Yeah, it's just the couple of things I want to mention is, at this moment in time, the circulating supply is only 114 million out of 300 million. I know you've already covered some of that in the fact that they've got a vesting. I know that the holdings won't unlock until 2026, so that makes sense. The weighting of 68% on Ethereum, 31.92% on Polygon, and 0.08% on Algorand. Not quite sure why the token is allocated in that way, shape, or form. I mean, I understand Ethereum and I understand Polygon. I don't understand why Algorand doesn't have more tokens on it, if you know what I mean. Because 0.08 is what? That's less than 1 million tokens, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they've done that. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to mention. Also, there is a buyback policy in place. So they will be buying back the tokens. What does that do? It keeps the value of the price high because they're buying it back off the market. So 114 million out of 300 million circulating supply is not that bad when you take into account that they are locked for the next 2 years and that there is a buyback mechanism. So normally, if anything has less than 50% circulating supply, I highlight that as a red flag, because the inflation on your token, if you've got a token today worth $1, but there's only 10% circulating supply, your dollar in reality is only worth about 10 or 15 cents. But in this case, I understand how it works and it makes perfect sense. So I just wanted to highlight those couple of points before we moved on from the tokenomics of it. Now then, before we give our final thoughts on this project, do you want to do the last part, which I believe is the participation?
Yes, I've brought it up now. Participation, let me scroll to it there. There it is. Participation tutorial. So this is, if you've ever watched any of our other streams talking about projects and whatnot, then you will understand this process. So for the people on the web, so if you're on computer, you're going on GateIO on the browser, you do this system. So you go to this position, area on the nav bar, this little like flower looking thing, and then for the image you can see, you go to startup here, which brings you to the main startup page, and then you will be able to go scroll down and found Defactor here. Obviously it'll be in progress. Obviously if it's not in progress, then you can't interact with it. But you scroll down, you'll find it here, click it, and then you'll just do the system there. Buttons right there, you can do that setup. Pretty simple. If you're on the mobile, obviously I can't show you, I'm on the browser as well, but you will have kind of this interaction button area on the main page. Startup, I believe you can customize it, so startup might not be there exactly. If it's not, you can click more and it will be there. But it is kind of this airdrop looking symbol, and it's kind of the same system. You click it, in progress, you go down to Defactor on the in progress section, click it, interact, boom, simple.
Yeah, now one of the other things I wanted to mention on this is the more GateIO tokens that you hold, the more GT that you hold, the more or the higher the allocation you will get of this token. So they've changed over the last maybe 2 months, month and a half, they've changed the way the mechanism works. So if you hold, I think it's 10 GateIO tokens or 50 and 100, things like that, there is a different allocation for that. Now, the one thing I wanted to go through was the Gate VIP section on there. If you've got that on the left-hand side.
Yep.
Just want to very quickly mention that, because the more assets you have on GateIO, the more allocations you will get. So VIP, you can become a VIP holder level 1 by holding 100 GT tokens, for example. Then it will move up until you have VIP 2, VIP 3, VIP 4. Every level that you go up, you will get a higher allocation of votes, I think they're called, or allocation spots. So if you're VIP level 5, you will get considerably more than if you are VIP level 1. So that's something to bear in mind, that if you are looking for somewhere to put your tokens, we've just been through a bear market, and GateIO has come out of the bear market all guns blazing, and it has managed to, you know, it has more offers on GateIO than I see on a lot of other exchanges. So as well as having just the Defactor project, they have about 5 to 10 projects a week that they launch on GateIO. So it's not just for this project, but it's for also any other projects further down the line.
Yeah.
So participation, as Brogan has just said, you go through, you make some, you know, you choose. If you don't have a VIP 1, you will be entered, I believe, into a lucky draw. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. If you don't have a VIP, it is a chance-based one. But if you have VIP levels, you get like an allocation, like you said.
Yeah. Right. Well, is that it from the participations? Anything else you want to put into it?
No, that's pretty much it. I've closed everything. I've just gone back to the main page now. So that's it from me in terms of participation.
Right. Do you want to do your outro, or do you want me to do my outro first?
You do it first.
You always say that.
Yeah, because mine takes long. Always.
Okay, so what we've done is we've spent the last 50 minutes talking about Defactor, which is a real-world asset, plug-and-play SDK kit, whatever you want to call it. It allows you to create your own tokens for real-world assets that you want to tokenize. Not just that, it gives you a platform where you can look after your community, and you can also create your own DeFi tools. So in terms of, is there going to be a use case for this project? Absolutely. This is something that is needed, and today I have already made a video about a very similar project to this that has already launched. So there are already several other companies doing this, and the market is going to be huge. If you look at what BlackRock have said, this is going to be a $10 trillion asset. Now, to put that into comparison, we're currently at $2.5 trillion for all of the crypto assets combined. So BlackRock is expecting this to be 4 times the size of crypto. So in terms of this type of project, Defactor, there is a demand, there is a market for it, they're arriving at the right time. We have assessed the team have all the composite skills required to take this project to fruition. Tokenomics are sound. The project, the white paper is sound. They've completed most of the roadmaps. There is not a single red flag on this project. The only thing I would add, and I add this at the end of every stream that we do, is you must look at these projects and carry out correct risk management. And what I mean by that is, if you have a $10,000 portfolio, you should be looking at 60% of your portfolio being in the top tier coins, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be Ethereum, maybe Solana, XRP, Avalanche, whatever it might be. Of that 40%, new projects like this, which are highly speculative and brand new to the market, you should be allocating 1 to 2% or 1 to 2.5% of your portfolio to them, and no more, because these projects can take a long time to come to fruition. This project might take 2 years, 3 years to come to fruition, because real world assets are brand new. If you look back 2 years to where AI tokens were 5 cents and 6 cents. They're now $2 and $3. This project could follow the same trajectory. This project could start off and it might 30 or 40x, but that might take 2 or 3 years. Now, if you've got the time horizon to do that, by all means go ahead and buy the project today, but carry out correct risk management. But that's enough from me. I think I've talked enough. There's nothing wrong with this project as far as I can see. This is a legitimate project and one which I hope does exceptionally well. Now, it's Brogan's turn, and Brogan is, of course, the DGen DeFi expert of the team.
Right, yeah.
So he can give his opinion on the project.
Right, yeah. Well, I think Defactor is brilliant. I think the team members, from what we've seen so far, I think that they are obviously, you know, they wouldn't like anything like that. Obviously, we've gone through LinkedIn, not on screen, but we've gone through it. And obviously went through their blurbs. They seem completely, and obviously this is very important, you know, any project, you want a team which is versed in what they are doing, what they are providing for the project. And I think these are, you know, strong, you know, people for the areas they are interacting with within Defactor. I think the website looks lovely. I think I'm glad, and we talked about this at the time, I'm really happy with the roadmap. You know, in a project, I think, not the bare minimum, because obviously, you know, projects can start at different positions and have like, roadmaps, which, you know, you have to start somewhere. But I'm just glad to see that they've got a roadmap which have things already kind of been applied to, and they're already doing things, because, you know, the project coming from the roadmap, you know, it's been a while. So it's nice to see if there's backed up kind of application of what they've done in their roadmap versus what they're doing in the future. So I'm happy with the roadmap, happy with the team. I think it's a brilliant project. I think this is needed, completely needed. I don't think this is a waste of time project. It's not like there's 15 of these out there either. So this is, you know, this is going to be a strong force. And with the partnerships they've got as well and how they're interacting with, especially when we mentioned Algorand, I think this is going to be, you know, a solid pillar in the section of RWA and, you know, tokenization of real assets. So I'm pretty confident in this project. I like it. I really like it. Obviously, you know, it's not like these handy-pandy games. Like, oh, look, it's flashing, it's cars, but it's something needed. You know, it is a sometimes there's probably some saying for it, but I don't know one. In terms of something more not traditional, but something more kind of like professional and like serious. You know, this is it's more serious. You know, it's not like a kind of relaxed project review, but it's something which is needed. Like I said, it is something which has a place. It has a place. It's not something which has been done a bunch of times before.
Absolutely.
I like it. I think it's good. I don't want to waffle on this too much more, but I like it.
Perfect. Well, that is it from us. We did have some comments in chat.
Okay.
A big shout out to Hidden Agendas.
Yes.
A big shout out again to Kishan and Mags. Velvet Rope has been in here. Diabeleski. Tartaland has been in here. MF Vlogs has been in here. A big thank you for all coming and watching this stream on Defactor. Remember, down below in the description, you will find all of the links that you need to GateIO to come over and go and have a look at the project. If you are already on GateIO, make sure to go to the startup page and check it out. It has a day and 12 hours left, which I think is 8 a.m. on Wednesday. So make sure to go and check that out. That is the end of the stream from me. So a big thank you, Brogan, for helping me go through Defactor.
Thank you for showing me.
And we will see you all in the next video.
Yes. Thank you all, and goodbye.
Goodbye.